overcast Sunday afternoon here inside the Zozo Marine Stadium as it plays host to X Games Japan 2023 as we get set to kick off the BMX Street Final. Welcome to Chiba, the capital city of the Chiba Prefecture, everyone. I'm Jimmy Coleman, sitting across from Scotty Kramer, and as we get set to kick off this final, I feel like a broken record, Scotty, but again, we're talking about Garrett Reynolds chasing history yet again.
The one and only, in my opinion, the most talented BMX rider of all time. This guy has been special for so long in this sport. The amount of things that he's accomplished, and he could be adding to it tonight, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's tied with Shaun White with overall gold medals. If he gets one today, he would surpass him and be the lone standout in that department. Taking a look at the start list here, 8 riders in the field. They're going to get 2 runs out here today, and it is the best run that counts if you're hoping to stand on the podium out here today at X Games Japan 2023, Scotty.
Yeah, so the park today, it looks like a very well-versed park. There's so many different options for these guys to ride, and I'm so curious to see what they do on that huge 14 stair setup. It's going to be amazing.
Well, we started off with an Australian rider. This is Boyd Hilder. He has one prior X Games appearance. That was in Minneapolis in 2019, and it was in Park Best Trick, so making his first appearance at the X Games here in BMX Street, and he gets us started.
Wow, look at that. Starting things off with a switch toothpick hanger right there. And back to what you were saying about Boyd being in park. You know, he's one of the home... Are you kidding? Did you, he just wall rode across the channel doing a bar spin. I was gonna tell you that he's well reversed. He could do pretty much any kind of style of riding, and he just proved it right there. That was insane. And look at the technical grinds as well.
And look how fast he's linking everything up. I mean, the runs are 45 seconds in length, and he had a lot going on in just that first 30 seconds alone, and he's not letting the foot off the gas here. I
was so excited when I saw his name on the list because I feel like he deserved an opportunity to be street. And how the heck did he just do that? Downside grind across that?
Wow. That was awesome. Look at the smile on his face as he rides out the rest of the time right here. What an epic run to start up this competition. Way to go, Boyd Hilder.
Well, let's just go back to the whole Garrett potentially breaking the record. Boyd's going to make it extremely hard to do so, but look at this trick. Gap to wall ride, across that to bar spin over the stair set. That was insane.
I wondered if that structure was just there for looks or if it was going to come into play, and that question has been answered in the first run.
Yeah, I think he was asking himself the same question, and he found out the hard way, but man, he made it look easy.
Oh, so again, 2 runs out here. It is the best run that counts on a 100-point scale, and knocking on the door of the 90s, an 89.33. Welcome to X Games BMX Street, Boyd Hilder. Wow. So again, 8 riders in the field out here. They get 2 runs each in this street final, 45 seconds per run, and it is the best run that counts on that 100-point scale. Now, in addition to that record that Garrett is chasing out here for Shaun White and the gold medals, Garrett has also never not medaled in this event. Every time it's been contested at X Games, he's taken home a medal in this event.
That is such a crazy stat that is so underrated. I mean, it just goes to show how good Garrett is.
Moving on now to Courage Adams in for his first of 2 attempts.
Oh, look at Courage doing his signature link of lines right there. This guy is so talented at balance tricks. I mean, he did a line on his YouTube channel called One Line Balance. He did a trick. It was a line that connected. It was multiple tricks, and it was 48 seconds long. That would be longer than a run today, which is crazy to think about.
Okay, so winding down to the last 15 seconds. Oh, wow.
Nice. Backwards crook down that 14 stair. Man, he's got such a clean style. He's got so much power in his riding, too. Bar spin to manual. Oh, beautiful 360 out of that manual. Such a good first run for Courage.
3 prior X Games appearances for him. His best finish in street was here last year where he finished 8th.
So look at this gap, bar spin to ice pick grind across that driveway box. But here's that down the 14 stair, that 180 backwards crook to 180 out. Another angle of it. Oh, it looks perfect.
Okay, so what's it going to be here for Courage? Again, 2 runs, best run counts. Boyd Hilder set the bar with an 89.33. Another thing to point out, everybody in the field has a street medal with the exception of 3 riders, that being Boyd, Courage Adams, and Kevin Peraza, who we'll see a little bit later on. So an 80 flat there for Courage. As we move on to Brock Rayford out of Destrehan, Louisiana. He is a 2-time X Games medalist. He owns a bronze in street, and he owns a real BMX silver.
Wow, look at that pop out of that peg right there, doing that 360 out. I mean, he's known for that. He's got such an ability to he's like a bunny hop champion of the world. And he's done 50-inch bunny hop. It's just impossible to even imagine that somebody can get their bike that high, but he's got so much power, so much control, and the way he links it into different tricks and combinations, it's really amazing to see.
Well, he was knocking on the door at this event here last year. He just missed the podium, finished out in 4th place.
So it looks like Brock's heading over to the big stair set. Nice fast plant to flat. Oh, but he couldn't keep his feet on right there. I mean, there's so much force coming down on those pedals, especially coming off of a fast plant. Oh, and there it is again.
Muscling that.
Pegs up,
go
yeah.
up that rail. I mean, that's a giant stair set.
It is. And like to be able to do that over 360. I mean, he was probably the first person I ever seen do that. Look at the power up, switch pegs to tail whip up that rail. That's when he does the gap across the grind. And then there's that fast plant. And like, watch the force, you know, getting your feet back on the pedals. But man, it's really hard when you're having that momentum that just comes straight down on the ground like that. Because a fast plant, you can't carry too much momentum. But here's that 360 up and over the rail. It's like an alley-oop over it.
So he'll check in with a 75 for that one right there. And I mentioned earlier that he finished 4th here at Chiba last year. He also finished 4th in X Games back in July when we were at the CATF facility out there in Vista, California. We now turn our eyes to Devin Smiley here. He happens to own 2 silver and 2 bronze medals in this event. Very technical and unique rider, known for his creativity.
Yeah, Devin has so much control. I mean, he'll do manuals, forwards, backwards. It's crazy to see the tricks that he combines in it. See straight away going into the manual out of the up rail, continuing on.
Down the transition as well, onto the rail.
Switch ice. Look at that, inside 180 backwards, switch Smith. Oh, I love that trick, 180 backwards over pegs. Nice switch, tooth hanger 180. Nice backlash over there. Yeah, he's just got so much control on that back wheel. Oh, that was so cool. Timing that and in between those rails, so difficult to do. Oh, look at that. He used that so original. Like, that's something that Devin would do in a contest run. Nobody would do that. Nobody would trust their skill set on that one. Wow, and he follows it up again, man. So much originality in his ride.
That's that creativity that I was talking about at the top of the run right there. So let's take another look as we await the score here for Devin.
Yeah, I love this trick. Over switch pegs, you know, doing the 180. So hard to do. And here's it jumping back in. You know, you have to avoid that edge right there. You're going fakie. It is so technical. And look at this line, you know, over 180 and then the full cap in between those 2 rails. I love this one, just using the course perfectly, putting his own signature touch on there.
So an 89.33 is the top spot for now. We're at the halfway point of the run order. This is round 1 out of 2 here. And an 83, so that'll slide him into that number 2 spot, just behind Boyd Hilder, with 4 riders left to go here in round number 1. We now take a look at Alex Donachie. He is a gold medalist in this event. He took that at X Games Sydney in 2018.
Oh, wow, what a start to the run right there. To crank arm down a 14 stair and then go into the manual, that was a really good save too. He lucked out right there that he was able to catch in that crooked grind. Oh, he looked like he was looking for a spin out of that rainbow rail.
I was gonna say, the body language looked like he wanted 180 out of that.
Yeah, and he's so good at doing, he could do such unorthodox grinds to 180 out. And he's so good at continuing the tricks with the manuals in and out. I mean, you saw that in the beginning, but I'm sure he's going to do more of that. Oh, that was really cool right there. Alley-oop to a switch. Smith on that ledge.
I also want to mention July of last year, he had a torn meniscus that was repaired. It was his left knee, and it took 8 months to heal. He actually missed Summer X Games last year because of that. See what happens with the score here. Let's take a look first.
Yeah,
back at the run.
That was the first trick I was telling you about. Look at that, Smith nose bar out of it. Amazing 360 toothpick on there. Crank arm to bar spin. He's got such dialed crank arm grinds.
Okay, so couple of slip-ups there in that run. That's why you see that score of 59.66. So tough spot, however, out of these 2 runs. Remember, it is best run that counts. So we'll have to wait this one out for the remainder of round 1 here and focus on that second run. See Kevin Peraza running over to the bike. He is due up next, but first let's learn a little bit more about him in this athlete profile.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Peraza and I will be competing in BMX Park and BMX Street. I grew up riding BMX really young, so when I started to learn tricks and become a fan of the sport and see how far BMX could take me in the future, that was when I decided that I wanted to be professional. Not only myself, but everyone else in action sports. We're all big fans of action sports and all the remarkable athletes that have come that have worked so hard to be there, so it's definitely a dream for all of us. My favorite thing about Japan has to be the people. The people alone, they're so kind, so respectful, so helpful. Everyone here smiles, everyone here says hi to you, and feeling so welcomed is the best part, you know. And if I can achieve one thing this weekend for X Games Chiba, it would just be giving the crowd a show, treating the kids to my style of riding and my personality, and potentially inspiring the next generation of BMX riders.
So over his time here at the X Games, we've typically seen Kevin in park and dirt events. He owns 2 golds in park. He owns a dirt gold medal. Over the last couple of years, though, he's put his name in the street hat, and he's starting up on top of that
he's on the roof right now. 360 dropping. Wow. What a way to start your run. I mean, and that's some of that influence from, you know, his time in park going absolutely huge.
Again, going up that long rail and then boosting coming off of it.
And there's another example of what you would see him do in park. You know, he's always been such a well-versed rider. He could ride everything. So it's been really cool to see him transition into riding street as well. It's not like he gave up park. You know, he was not only in the park contest, but he was in the best trick park contest. And here he is in street. He's an amazing rider. He really is.
Coming down to the final 10 seconds here. A little bit of a different intensity here in this run. Just going super fast, flowing through this course.
Oh, nice. Getting that cab whip down that small Euro right there.
Now, he owns, as I mentioned before the run, 2 golds in park. He's got 1 in dirt. He has 5 overall X Games medals, 3 golds, 1 silver, 1 bronze. He doesn't have a street medal yet, and he's looking to change that today.
Yeah, he's on the right track. It's looking pretty good for him. Look at that up rail, 360 out. And this was really cool too. See, he goes over, crank slide, and then pops right down. I'm glad to see the riders using that because it's such a rare thing to see on a course. And always smiling, typical Kevin Peraza.
Taking a little bit here for the score to populate. Judges maybe having a little chat about this one.
I mean, I think it's hard to judge Kevin compared to a lot of the street riders because you were just saying it in his run. It's a higher pace. It's a different approach to it, and I mean, it's Kevin Peraza's style of street. It's so cool to see.
Again, those 5 medals, 3 of those came in park, 1 in dirt. He also owns a park best trick medal, that one being a silver. So an 81.66, that'll put him in that number 3 spot for now, with 2 riders left to go in the rotation here for round number 1. Remember, it's a 2-round final here, so everyone's gonna get 2 shots at it here as we bring in Germany's Felix Prangenberg. He owns a gold in real BMX, and he owns 2 silvers here. Excuse me, 3 silvers in BMX Street.
Wow, starting it off with a truck to flat. Felix is like, he is so popular in BMX. Like, the hardcore guys just love this dude, because look what he's capable of. Like, who does that in an X Games run right there? Such an amazing use of course, and his style is just so good, and you just don't even know what is switch or regular at this point, because he's just so fluent both ways. Pegs up, look at that, hard 270 to fakie. Nice.
3-time winner of the simple session. He's won that 2018, 2019, and 2020. Coming down to the final couple seconds here for Felix.
Yeah, so that was a really cool first run. A lot of very unique touches. I mean, that one fakie line was just ridiculous. And the fact that he started out with that huge truck down that thing, so cool to see. And look at when he does this truck down, he recovers quickly and goes straight into a 180 whip, which is nuts. But look at that, navigating through there, you know, backwards, finding that rail, and then getting that 270 out. This one as well, when he does the hard 360 out to fakie. So yeah, there's a couple things, you know, on that run that didn't go perfect for him, but man, it was a really good start.
So you need better than an 81.66 for right now to crack into podium contention, and that one is going to be a 78.33, so only good enough for 5th right now, which brings us down to the final rider in the run order, Garrett Reynolds. 17 times this event has been contested. 13 times he's taken the gold. The other 4, 2 silver and 2 bronze, and he's in for his first attempt.
It's beautiful, 180 switch down whip over that hip. I love how he can incorporate that in the run. He does this so stylish as well. So Garrett redirecting over. Oh, tires to double bar spin. Some vintage Garrett Reynolds right there. He used to love doing the bars. And he actually took like a little step back from it. I'm glad he brought it back. Oh, wow. Wow, he was doing a switch tooth pop over on that. Such a hard trick to do.
So the last couple of seconds ticking down here. And that looks like it's going to do it for the first run there for Garrett. The entire first round. And about 13 seconds left on the clock. He was right there.
Yeah, I mean, that trick was super high risk that he did, that he messed up on. But look at this, tires. Like I said, Garrett used to do that, and nobody was doing that in street. It was so cool to see him do it. He was doing double trucks that way too, so to see him do it in his run, that is definitely really awesome to see.
So if you're looking at the score and you're saying, okay, he's down there in 8th, remember, it's best run that counts, and we've seen Garrett in this position a couple of times over the last few contested street events here, so he's down, but he's not out. We'll have round 2 when we come back to X Games Japan. On to the BMX Street Final here, X Games Japan 2023. We have completed the first round of runs. It is a 2-run final here at BMX Street, and this is how we stand. Boyd Hilder sitting in the top spot with an 89.33, followed by Devin Smiley and Kevin Peraza sitting in 3rd. However, it is the best run that counts. We're about to go back up to the top of the order, and everybody is going to get one more shot at it here. And we get to start it off with our current leader. First time ever competing in BMX Street here at the X Games, and he set the bar and finds himself in that top position. Not a bad way to start off your first ever X Games Street event.
Oh, unbelievable first run, and if I know Boyd, we're gonna get more of the same, plus some. Starting things off with that switch hanger down that 14 stair, but also doing the gap portion, and he's heading back over towards the wall ride.
Are we going back for the pagoda wall ride?
Oh, he did a tail whip out this time. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
Hopefully we get the other angle of that on the replay, but
Wow.
he's on a heater right now.
He is so good. He's such a special rider. I mean, for years, I've been such a fan of Boyd. Every time a video comes out, I'm just so excited to see what he's up to, because not only does he have an original outlook on BMX, but he has the skills to back it up.
He's just got to hang on for a couple more seconds here down to the final 5.
Oh, perfect again. I can't believe it.
He's done it. That's 2 solid outings.
He just upped the run, and he just did a switch hanger to bar out across that flat rail. Wow. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the reaction from everybody else. Like Gary Reynolds, right? There's Matthias Dandois in the background as well. I mean, to be the first guy out of the gate as well.
That was unbelievable, but start to finish, this is so crazy. Look at here's the gap, wall ride. I was wondering if he was gonna do it, and he sent the tail whip out, and it was perfect. Look at this, look at the precision that he had to land on right there to get that. And it's not like it was perfect, there's like banners across that.
I said, it looked a little bit of plastic in there somewhere, like it flexed when he rode over that thing.
Oh, Boyd doesn't care at all.
It's like a piece of Lexan in there or
This
something.
is what he finished with. That's a switch hanger to bar spin
Look at
out.
that.
And that's after 45 seconds of some of the hardest tricks that we've seen today. Unbelievable appearance for Boyd.
Welcome to BMX Street, Boyd Hilder at the X Games. 92.66.
Wow.
As I mentioned before, he only has 1 prior appearance at X Games, and it was in Park Best Trick in Minnesota in 2019. So in his second appearance, looking at a possible medal here. Coming your way next, Courage Adams finished 8th place here last year. He currently finds himself 1 spot out of podium contention. He's sitting in 4th place.
He's going in for a nose manual. Can he make it around? Wow, to bar spin. Absolutely perfect. This is an amazing run from Courage. And like I was saying earlier, he's just got so much control. But like everything that he does, you can just tell, you know, it's well thought out.
Wow.
Everything that he's doing, he knows exactly what he's trying, and he delivers it every time, which is so cool.
Coming down to the final 15 seconds.
There's that backwards crook down the 14 stair again. So what's he gonna end with? This is huge right here. Bar spin to manual with the big 360 into the bank.
And there you go, buzzer sounds. That is a solid second run.
That was huge, and again,
It's tough too when you only get 2. Like typically we do a jam session, but with having to condense the scheduling because of the weather this weekend, and like, okay, you're only gonna get 2 runs. Like that's impressive.
Yeah, when you have 3 runs, it's a whole different approach. But man, he showed up on this one. Not only did he do the big tricks, but he did the technical tricks as well. And he did everything so clean. Everything was so dialed. I mean, just perfect Courage Adams. And look at the ability to pop that 360 out of that manual.
Okay, I mentioned pre-run. He was on the outside looking in at an 80 flat. He's gonna jump up into that number 2 position with an 89.66. I mentioned there's 3 guys in this competition that don't own a street medal, and 2 of them are sitting on the podium right now in the top 2 spots.
That is unbelievable.
It's not over. There's a lot still to go. We have 6 more runs coming up, but that's a crazy story in of itself as we get set to bring back in Brock Rayford starting up on top.
Yeah, we got a new guy on the roof right now. Bar spin drop in. Oh, nice bar spin gap to ice pick across that, using that speed to his advantage coming off that roof. Tires up to switch 180 bar spin. Pegs to manual. To switch pegs 180.
Crazy little combo line there.
That was a good one right there. So the question is, what is he going to do at the end of his run? You always want to end with something big, and he's fully capable. Oh, wow, that would have been, oh no.
Yeah, he's holding on to that right knee. You can see right away when he came off that rail, he grabbed that knee and flagged down the X Games medical staff. That is a huge rail stair set. We're gonna let X Games Medical 10 to Brock Rayford there. You see some of the other riders going down to check on him as well. We're going to take a break. We'll have the conclusion of BMX Street Tunnel when we come back to X Games Japan 2023. Done before. Get it!
X Games, summer, music, and you. That's right, fans are back at X Games this summer. Be part of 3 action-filled days in sunny Ventura, California. The best in BMX, skateboard, Moto X, and music. Right on the beach, July 21st through 23rd.
Final to new heights.
Finds a new home in Ventura, and it's the first time for Summer X Games that we have fans back in the venue. Here at X Games Japan, though, we've got a handful more riders to go in the BMX Street Final, and it's this guy right here, Boyd Hilder, sitting in the top spot, Scotty.
Boyd just put on a show, using the course in only a way that Boyd Hilder would, sending that wall ride across, not only the bar spin in the first run, but tail whip in the second run. Insane amount of skill that he's putting on display here today. This has been so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he was the first guy in the rotation, and he set the bar, and he was in that top spot. Then he comes out in round number 2 and just ups the ante and jumps up into the 90s. It's not over yet, but he's put himself in an excellent position for right now with only 5 riders left to go. Taking a look at Garrett Reynolds right here at the top of the show. We talked about him chasing that record. If he can get a gold medal out here today, he would surpass Shaun White for most X Games gold, but Boyd Hilder standing in the way of that as of right now.
Yeah, Boyd is going to make it tough today. He really is.
He's saying, don't look at me. There's still 5 other guys to go. Focus over there. And the next one we're going to see here, Devin Smiley, who's sitting in podium contention right now. He's in that bronze spot with an 83 from round number 1.
Oh, look at Devin starting things off with that manual line again. So he's brakeless, dropping in, bringing that speed. Nice. It's a really good link to start things off. Oh, bar spinning into the 180 backwards switch Smith. It's perfect again. He did the 180 backwards over pegs. Oh, that was an upgrade from run number 1 right there. Oh, he is on it right now. Just his signature style, able to do tricks that people would be doing in like video parts that would take him a while, and he somehow just gets them first try. It's unbelievable. That Smith popping into that wall. Perfect right there.
Excellent second run. So now, I mean, looking at what we saw in round number 1, he has that 83.
Definitely, it has to be an upgrade. I mean, look at what he's doing on this. Everything kind of was just a little bit better, like perfect right there. Throwing that bar spin into that 180 this time around. Look, and he lands the 180 backwards over switch pegs. Perfect. And even the technical tricks. And look at this backlash right here, rotating all the way around. Pegs up and over 180 to full cab. I'll say it again, like his style of riding is so hard to do in a contest, and he somehow just keeps it coming.
So it is an improvement. He gets 2 full points. However, it's not going to improve the placing for now. Courage Adams has that 89.66, so that'll give him a little bit of breathing room here with 4 runs left to go here. Comes Alex Donachie for his second and final attempt. First Scottish athlete to medal at X Games. He just had a couple of little slip-ups there in that first round run. If he could clean that up, could be a contender here.
Yeah, his style of riding, his tricks are so difficult to do. I mean, like we were just saying it about Brock, like, you know, he's got his own style, of course, but Alex Donachie, he's got a technical rail style, you know, those tricks, combining them all together. I mean, it's a lot of work to do that, but he is just so solid. Oh, going for that 540 out of that crooked up the rail.
Time winding down here. Let's take a look back.
Yeah, so you can see he's coming off of a little bit of a mess up right there. He landed that in the first run. So look at tires up, and he drops down to switch tooth at the end.
So the first round score is going to be the better of the two. So tough day there for Alex Donachie. So now we're down to Kevin Peraza, Felix Prangenberg, and Garrett Reynolds. Kevin Peraza up on top of the roof structure again. Oh. It's Boyd Hilder, Courage Adams, and Devin Smiley, your 1, 2, 3. These final 3 riders are all on the outside looking in.
I am nervous about what's about to happen off of this roof.
The way he's waving on the ground right now.
Wow, that camera angle was amazing for that. See, look at the speed that Kevin's bringing into it. You know, you could totally tell his park background.
He's right there in 4th. As I say that, and then he comes off the bike there. I was going to say he had an 81.66, but then coming off the bike there with quite a bit of time left.
Yeah, going for that nose at 360, and I've seen him land that a million times in contest runs, but it just didn't look like the angle was right there. Oh, that was a cool little line. I think he just went off the course and somehow got back on and kept the momentum going. Oh, that was beautiful. Switch whip to fakie. And there's that nose. Yeah, so things didn't go perfect for Kevin, but still got a big smile on his face.
So again, your current leader has to ride this one out with 2 riders left to go. Felix Prangenberg, and then we'll see Garrett Reynolds rounding out the order. Yes, you did, Kevin Peraza. And as always, you put on quite a show, sir. Like I said earlier, I mean, for years it was park and dirt, and then a couple of years back, he was like, you know what, let's start, competing in street. And we see him in the rotation quite a bit over the last 2 seasons now. So Garrett rides last. That brings us down to Felix Prangenberg. He is a 4-time X Games medalist. He sits in that number 5 position here. 78.33 was his first run score.
Wow, look at that. Into the 540. Oh no, and he had to step off early. Oh wow, look at that. He's waving it off right there.
So just to paint the picture now, that means Boyd and Courage are guaranteed medals at this point, with 1 rider left to go.
At least it's putting on a show for everybody right there. Oh, wow. Wow, that was so amazing to link those tricks up right there in a fakie. Nice 3-whip to fakie. Oh man, I wish that he was able to land that 540 because he definitely could have been on that podium if things went his way. Yeah, but here's that huge truck driver. And last run he went into a 180 whip, but he went for the 540 and just had to step off. But I'm glad that he continued on. Look at that big turn down to fakie. Fakie up to pegs. Fakie again, and then navigating through there and half cabbing into that Euro. Beautiful 360 tail up to fakie. Yeah, Felix is such an amazing rider. Anytime that we get to see him on the course, yeah, it's definitely lucky us.
So with 1 rider left to go, you've got Devin Smiley sitting on the bubble in that number 3 position. That gentleman right there in the beanie, sitting in the top spot with a 92.66. And it comes down to Garrett Reynolds here. We've seen him in this position time and time again, and he has delivered. And as we said before, he has never walked away without a medal in this event every time it's been contested here at the X Games, and chasing that record for most golds. It is not over.
He just did a 540 down the 14 stair. Like I said it before, Garrett is, in my opinion, most talented BMX rider out there. Tires, got that double bar spin again. Bar spin gap, ice pick. Oh, and there's the trick that took him out. He got that switch hanger pop over. Wow, 180 backwards, tooth 180.
Couple of seconds left to go.
180 backwards, crook 180. Sending that pegs to whip.
Oh my God, it coming.
So now
this is
now we play the waiting game. I'm gonna get you to walk the plank.
Yeah, okay, so
is that going to be enough?
All right, so Garrett did a lot of amazing tricks in this one. You know, they're going from the 540 down the stairs. You know, I hate that you're making me walk the plank right now, but I'm trying to do this the best I can. I think Garrett's going to be on the podium for sure. I think he's going to keep his streak going. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to, you know, unseat Boyd from the top right there. This is going to be a close call, but listen, I'm not a judge. I'm just here to do I'm an analyst, okay?
That's why I asked you to walk the plank. It's a hot seat. It's a tough spot to be in.
It's a big score to get in front of Boyd.
92.66, an 89.66, and an 85 flat. Those are your 3 best scores. He needs a 93 flat, and he gets an 87. The streak stays alive. He gets his 18th street medal. However, we have another BMX Street gold medalist, and it is Boyd Hilder.
What an unbelievable final. I can't believe that out of the 8 riders, we had 3 that didn't have medals, and 2 of them just got medals on this final.
I mean, to be the first guy in, it's your second X Games appearance. It's the first time in this discipline. You come out, you set the bar, and then you up the ante and run number 2.
But it was because of this, the trick of the contest, that wall ride to tail across that 14-stair channel. It was unbelievable. I mean, just the fact that he could land this in a run, and he can keep that momentum from start to finish, and especially doing these technical tricks like up, switch pegs to tail up out. Boyd is an amazing rider, and I'm so glad that he got his shot at X Games Street.
He becomes the 5th name to ever take gold in BMX Street. We send it down now to DC with our winner.
Oh yeah, congratulations, Boyd Hilder, good on you. 2nd X Games appearance, 1st X Games medal, and you went gold, brother. What's going through your head right now?
I got nothing to say, mate. I'm so stoked. Like, just to be out here and stick my runs. I'm hyped, mate. Like, that's it.
And getting the congratulatory ice bath from Kevin Peraza. What do you got to say about all your comrades out here riding bikes with?
Look at all the boys. Look at this sign. Mate, big love. Thank you, everybody. So stoked.
Big love indeed. Congratulations on your 1st X Games medal, and you went gold.
What was that, sir?
I said congratulations, 1st X Games medal, and you went gold. Big love indeed.
Let's go!
I saw that earlier. I saw the science, but I didn't have time to react to it right there. But, well, I mean, what a day for him. And again, I mean, it's a very short list of people that have ever taken a gold medal in this event. He becomes the 5th one to do it in the 18 times it's been contested here at X Games, Scotty.
Well deserved. I mean, that was amazing from start to finish, but it just gets me that much more excited for Ventura.
Yeah, I mean, what a finish right there, but congratulations to Boyd Hilder, etching his names in the X Games BMX Street history books.